Hi, hello. Okay, let's wait for another 3 minutes while we get more people to join us. Yeah, 2 minutes more, please. Okay, I think we can start now. So I'm still working. Yeah, I'm not sharing my screen yet. I'm not. I'm not sharing my screen yet. I'm still working on my presentation. I was quite so busy this week, and I couldn't start I couldn't complete it, but I promise you guys it will be ready by Monday. So we will have some discussion on the server hardening and securities and some of the web application installations by Wednesday. I think I'll share my presentation by Monday. Please, you all should bear with me. So today I have I think we should do another round of what's it called? Another round of yeah, another round of revision. What do you guys think? Another round of revision. Hmm. So where do we start from? Should we start from the beginning? Do we start from the beginning? I mean, if you help me with that help. Oh yes, from beginning. Has anybody ever used Docker here before? Obama, you've come back again today. All right, I don't have any intentions of believing anyone. So I've accepted almost all the invites. So it's only invites of today I've not accepted. So if you invited me yesterday night and today I've not accepted it. Okay, containerization. That's a different topic entirely. Let's start with. Let me share my screen. Can you all see my screen? Oh God, how would I do this? Okay. So fortunately, I am using just one screen today, so I'll not be able to multitask on so many things. I think we should start with users and groups. Again, do we have issues with users and groups? Do we have issues with you guys? Please, I just don't know where to come from. Okay, so fuck, I don't know where to start from. Okay, guys, let's go through the tasks I gave to us the other time to do, and the Vagrant tax. Well, not really, Oyekami. You will need the yeah. It's always a plus for you to understand Vagrant. Vagrant is part of the HashiCorp tools, and many companies are actually do actually use it right now. So you can use Vagrant to spin up EC2 instances on AWS. You can use it to spin up instances on GCP, on Azure, on different cloud solutions. So yeah, a lot of people are using it right now, and I would say it's a very good advantage to have it. It's also very good where you can configure so many things, run tests on your systems, without having to install any of those configurations on your local machine. Okay, Adomi, I would do that. Sure, I will try to increase my screen again. Okay, I would start with. I think a lot of people have brought this to my attention in terms of adding sudo as to to a user, and I will start with that. So I will start with adding a sudo to a adding a user to an admin sudo. That's the first thing I'm going to be starting with today. Then I will go back to the Vagrant test that I did. Um, if you have any other things that you want us to look at today, someone should just put them up in the Q&A, and once I'm done with one, I'll pick up another one just like that until we're done. Yes, I'm going to provision multiple machines on Vagrant. I'll do that. So just put anything you want, put them all in the Q&A, and we are going to spend the next 1.5 or 2 hours running it. So starting with the first task, which is adding sudo. One of the very first thing you need to know is that a sudo command allows you to trust users to execute various commands as root in our systems. So any command you want to run in as root, you use sudo to create it. Now I'm going to be creating a user. I'll be creating a user, and I'll add the user into my sudo. I'm going to be spinning up another Vagrant machine. I'm sure we all know how to do this. Just creating a Vagrant machine. I'm sure we all know how to just create a Vagrant machine. Okay. Yeah, I want to take us through the. Okay, that's fine. So we don't have any problems with that. So what I want to do is just to add users to sudo files manually. Okay. Okay, so now there are two ways of doing it. We can use an already existing we can use already existing account. Please, a very important question. When I created multiple versions of my Vagrant, I logged in, I'm not getting an IP address. Sanusi will look into that. We're going to look into that later today, Sanusi. Configure the IP addresses. Well, you need a new Vagrant. My head has been confused. Please, a very important question. Okay. All right. So, like I said, the first thing I'll need to do, I want to create a new user. So I'm going to create a new user as a sudo user. Now, when I create a new user as a sudo user, it will automatically add that user as a sudo account user. Now, this is what I mean. So if I create sudo, I want to create a new account and I'm calling it sudo, let's say user mode ag sudo, then let's call it test. Okay, does not exist. Let's create the user first. You all like to use add user, so let's use add user. Password, let's just call it 12345. 12345. First name, test, room number, I don't need okay. So I've created a new user now. As you can see, my new user is here as test. Sorry, I'm juggling through my screen to see. Oh, okay. As you can see, my new user is here as test. Next thing is to try to add my new user as a sudo user now. So my new user has now been added as a sudo user. As you can see, he's now a sudo user. That's how to add it. I mean, there's nothing special again. Hello, have you guys seen how I added the user? Yes, it has been added. Let's check the group file. If you want us to check the group file, let's check the group file. So if I do vi sudo, sorry, you need to have permission to do that. This is another option of adding it. You can add the user here, but let's see. Cat UTC group. Do we see sudo? Can you see it now? Can you see my screen? I'll okay. I'll add it again. For us to see that this guy is really a sudo user, su test password 345 sudo. Let's say sudo su 1 2 3 4 5. You can see that is a root user also. So this will show you that he has the ability to run as root. So I'm going to take it again, right? You're saying I'm too fast. Yeah, I'll show you how to add a group to sudo. I'll take it again. So I'm going to create another user. I'll call the user test2. Sorry, add user. Okay, so I'm giving the same password 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. Well, just give it whatever information you want to give to it, and you're fine. So all I just did to add the user is I ran this command. I'll share the command now in the group. So that's just all I did. So I'll run this command down, and that's it. It's now a sudo user. You can confirm it by running the cat etc group. So he's also a sudo user too. So I'm going to take us through how we can add a group. Okay. Each of the arguments, one is the sudo, which is the sudo command, because I want to use the super user command to make this argument. The second one is the user mode, which is the command to add a new user. The next one is the directives that we're going to use. So I'm adding the group sudo and adding test2 into sudo. That's just basically it. Okay, let's start the group and see. test2 in a group of its own and sudo. Can you see? That's just what I did. That's the command I've just dropped right now, Dafe. All right, so then another method of using it is let's add a user, let's add a group. Now for us to add a group, we need to go into the okay, I want to add a user in the group. Vsudo. Now this is where you add the users. So for instance, let's take for instance, I want to add test user. Add all equal to guys, that's all I need to do. I've added test user as a root. So it means that if I decide to create another user, if I decide to create alt school user under the group test, oh sorry, that's all. So alt school is also going to be a root user. My screen is fine. What all means, basically, all give it a permission to do everything. That's what all means. Can everyone understand what I've done so far? So this is just all you need to do. The last thing I did was to add alt school under the group name test. So if I go to cat etc/group, you would see under the group test, you will see alt school in it. That's just basically what I've done, and I've made the group test. So if I want to confirm that all is fine, I log into alt school and I can do sudo with alt school. Oh, I need to restart this Vagrant system. I need to restart the Vagrant system so that my connection will work. I need to restart the. Yes, exactly. Onyeka Chukwu. So, but once you've done it, you need to just restart it, restart the system, restart the Vagrant, and it should work. Yes, I just made Osco a user under the. So let's log in as alt school. So sudo alt school password and sudo su. Why? Fuck. Sorry. Sorry guys, I actually added it to the wrong command. So I didn't read this well. So it says allow members of group sudo to execute any command. Yeah. So I'm going to, what I want to do now is to allow members of group test to execute any command. Okay. So let's restart it again. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I didn't add it to the group. Since it's the group I was talking about, it was the user that I actually added. The first one was for the user. The next one was for the admin. Then the last one was for the group. So I just added it to the group, and I think we should be fine now. So that's it. So alt school is now a sudo user. So I believe everybody now understands how to add users and groups as sudo users, right? Please, Temitope, could you actually go back? You can take a look at the videos we've had so far. So let's see other questions. I noticed that if we create a user with user add command, it doesn't create bash shell for them. So how do we do that? Is it important to create for all users? So when you're creating a user with the user add, let's see what help we have for that. If you want to create a user with the user add, there should be yes. So you need to add this -s prefix to it while you're creating that, and that will help you, and that will add a shell to that particular user. You understand? So for instance, if you're adding user add, let's say Conrad, for instance, once you type the -s, it gives you the ability to run shell commands. If you don't do that, it will not give the ability to run shell command. Right, Fumilayo, that should solve your question. How can I change a user's password? I tried logging in as a user but couldn't. Yeah, so if you are root, you can change the user's password by typing the user. So if I want to change test password, all I just need to do is test. Is it test password? No. Test, right? Yes. So you see my command. You type the password, then the user. If you're a root user, you can do that. If you're not a root user, you can't do it. That's how you change the password, Gideon. A very important question: when you created multiple, yeah, well, like I said, we're going to go into multiple Vagrant files. Run the double Vagrant machine. Yes, I'll do that. Provision multiple. I'll do that. Okay. We'll look at the Git repo also. A brief recap of other commands for uploading to. Okay, we'll look at that also. Create users and groups. Okay, formula, we've sorted that out. Let's talk about version control, Git and all. Okay, we will get back there. Review. Okay, so I have a question. We had to submit the output of Git. Show the repo URL. Since you are pushing to different URLs, we submit different outputs for both. I know. I think you should just submit for the GitHub. Fantasy. All right, so let's go to the next. So I already had something here. Okay, so we want to provision multiple boxes. Like I said, who can actually give me the command to provision multiple boxes? On the chat, who can give me the command to provision multiple boxes? All right, that's nice. Something. Who else again? You don't necessarily need to use the shell, but yeah, exactly, because that's fine. It's defined, yes. So the shell, like I said, was just add-on for me, so I just added that. So I am trying to configure two boxes right now. So do we all understand what I've just done? Do we all understand what I've just done? Esther, what's the challenge with what I've just done that you don't understand? What would you like me to explain? I'll give you like the next 1 minute to quickly type what you want me to explain further to you. I beg any Audi store there around here.
Audi car.
No.
Audi. You store.
Yeah, Bukola, we'll get to that. I'll explain to you why. Yeah, you say you didn't understand it, so I'm like, what's wrong? What don't you understand, Esther? Because I believe after this part, we're going to go into web applications installation and testing. So, and you really need to understand this part before we move. Did you indent the slave on purpose? Yes, to keep it neat. Okay. All right, fine. I believe that we are good with this. So the next thing I'm going to go into is, as usual, try to ensure that, okay, it's going to use a DHCP and we're fine. Then we vagrant up and this would spin up the new vagrant machines that we have just set up. So let's run the vagrant status. So you can see my master and slave are already running. So Bukola, the issue you might have been having is anything you want to do, you make sure you have to put the name master or slave behind it. Otherwise, it will not log into that server. You will not be able to do anything in that server. Bukola, does this solve your problem? All right. So what's your challenge with the IP? Because for me to see my IP, I never forgot your question. I said we're going to get there. So these are the two IPs that are generated by my system. So what's the question that you have? What's the challenge you have with your IPs, Waris? So it may not have been showing because of probably there was an error with your vagrant file. That's why I don't think it was configured. Waris, if you do vagrant status, will it show you that your master is running? Can you do vagrant status and send to me on Slack and do a snapshot of that and send to me on Slack? Yes, Daniel, we're going to get that. Okay, fine. So exit. I want to log in from my. But the first now there are some things you need to do first. Uh, I would have always preferred the manual way. The manual way would have always been my best way. Copy and store it in the authorization key. But let's use the SSH ID that I've just told you. So I'm logging into the Vagrant Slave machine. Now this is my Vagrant Slave machine. I am logging in as a user, and I want to edit my SSHD file. I can decide to change my port to port 02, and if you have public IPs at public IPs, you can add it into this. But it's fine. Let's leave it as port 22. This is the default port. So public key authentication, yes. Allow me to use my public keys, and I allowed to use, though it's the keys are not changing, the path is not changing, so that's where it's going to take the keys from. Password authentication, yes, and we are fine. So you need to edit those files. So do you understand the files that I said you need to edit? Hello? Okay, I'll go back again. On your SSHD config file, you need to allow this public key is not allowed, so you need to allow this. This is not necessary because it's the default file. And password authentication, I allowed it to yes. That's all I did. So the reason why I allow the public key authentication is so that it can allow SSH authentication over a public key. Is it understandable now? Those are just the config files that you just need to edit. It's so that it will allow that editing is to allow public key access over SSH. Is it better now? Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to exit now and log into the master machine. Then you create your SSH keygen on the master machine. You create your SSH keygen on the master machine. You store it on any mesh wherever you want to store it, and give it any name of your choice. So if I log into this, so you can see the keys I've just created here. Everyone understands to this level right now? You get up to this level, right? So the next thing we're going to do is to SSH copy ID, the location of the ID, okay, SSH. Sorry, I need to get the name of the key I gave to it. So SSH access. So SSH copy ID interactive SSH key slash SSH underscore access. Please, you need to be rest assured, you need to copy the public key. Never you copy your private key over the internet to any user. Copy your public key. So 192.168. Sorry, and that thing again is I need to get the IP address. .56, okay. SSH copy ID interactive SSH slash SSH underscore access dot public file. Then the server we are moving to, Vagrant at 192.168.56.9. So far, so good. Anybody has any issues right now? Do we all understand what I've just done? No, I used the IP address of the slave. Sorry, I already knew the IP address of the slave. I should have just shown you guys. I used the IP address of the slave. That's the the master is my server. The slave is my client. So I use the IP address of my client. I don't want to use the master slave approach. I don't want us to get used to that master slave approach. So I use the IP address of the client. All right, guys. So the next thing we need to do is SSH Vagrant at 192.168.56.9, and we are good. So we are now in the Vagrant. We are now in the .9 machine. As you can see, we're now in the .9 machine. So if you have to use, if you can use the password Vagrant, but that's because you're using the Vagrant machine also. Yes, yes, Malcolm, yes, SSH, that would also work because we're using Vagrant. But if you're not using Vagrant, it won't work. It's working because you're using Vagrant and they are both in the same network. If if you're not using the Vagrant system, if you're not using the Vagrant, it will not work. If you are using normal AWS client and all that, it will never work because you need to put the username. If they are not on the same network, it will not work. You will not be able to SSH through private if there is no bridge between the two systems. So what I mean by a bridge is a VPN. So if you're going to communicate between two private networks, they need to be on the same, either they are on the same network or they're on the same VPN. If they are not, then you can only communicate to them over the internet. Yeah, bridge adapter, whatever. Yes, you can change the passwords. There's a way of changing passwords in Vagrant. So you can go to Vagrant and you'll be able to see how you can change passwords. So Franklin, I hope that answers your question. If they're not on the same network, you can't communicate to them except there is a VPN or there is a bridge network that is communicating that is integrating both of them together, or a public IP. Esther, go through the videos. Go through the videos. We've practically done this 3 weeks straight down. From next week, we are really going to get really messy. So please, everyone should go through our videos. 2 weeks ago, go to our videos last week, and also go through the videos today. So we've done all this. I think we've practically spent quite a number of time. We spent a lot of time here, and next week it's going to get really well. We're going to really get our hands very dirty, and your understanding of this setup is really going to be instrumental in what we are going to do next week. Please pin the YouTube videos here for her, so that, or for her and others who are still having some challenges, so that they can also go through it. Please, any more questions as regarding this? I want questions. Give me questions, please. Questions. The ones I can answer, please. Okay, there is really nothing to talk about when you say system D is just a command for running system commands, running daemons on a Linux system. Yes, Lillian, it can be changed. Okay, may I know what you're trying to know of? Yeah, has there been anyone who has completed the GitHub task? If anyone has been able to complete the GitHub task, can we know? PHP is a scripting language for scripting. I think if you go online, you can know what PHP is. It's more like a programming language. So I think it's for web. Okay. I think would it be nice for someone to share his screen and take us through how he did it using one of his codes? Who is willing to do it? Let's see if we can get someone to allow the person take us through that. Yeah, I said amongst those that have been able to complete the migration from GitHub to GitLab, could would someone be willing to to give us a quick recap? Samson, okay. Samson, let me see if I can get someone to allow you take us through a quick recap on this. Samson, come and show us. Yeah, Samson, just give me a few minutes. I'll be answering some more questions while I try to see how we can get someone to give that, allow you share your screen and take us through that. What's the essence of that is the command line to define a virtual machine. I did it. I am anonymous. I did it. I added a group to a sudo. I did it. I think we did it. It failed a couple of times and we had to do it again. Hello? Okay. Hello, Samson. Can you make a request to join so that you'd be allowed to take us through this presentation? I really want to learn. I'm eager to learn. Samson, could you request to join? Are you sharing your screen? Have you been able to do it? You can't request. Could you leave and it say you can't see? Jerry says you can't see your request. Samson, can you leave and request again to join? Leave the school, then request again to join. If you can't join, I'll probably continue. Hello, Samson. Okay. Yeah, Samson, go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Okay. So you want me to talk us through how I was able to move my files from GitHub to GitLab? Am I
Yes,
correct?
please. Yes, please.
All right. So am I supposed to share my screen?
Yes. I probably would have someone, Samson, after this, you probably would now be our next lecturer for next week.
I see. I see. Okay, so I'm looking out for where to share my screen.
Yes, there are 5 buttons on your screen. You would see the one that has the screen.
Okay.
Just click on that and you'll be able to share your screen.
Okay. So I'm sure you can see my screen now.
Yes, please, we can.
All right, so I created an account with GitLab, and I'm trying to log in now. Okay, so what I did was very simple. So I went to new project, then I went to import project. Then I'm importing from GitHub. So I ran an authentication so that GitHub can allow me pull out that particular document. So if you look at my screen, I've been able to, move this particular file from GitHub to GitLab. So probably I should delete. So I'll be able to do, because ordinarily from here, I can just click on import and, okay, let me just use this file as an example. So if I just click on import, yeah, easy. There we are. You can see the project here. So that was how I was able to move my file from GitHub to GitLab. So was that clear enough?
Yes, that was quite fair, and that was quite easy. So you didn't make any configuration changes on your GitLab code.
Not, not That's here. So what I did was I had already done all the assignments from GitHub, so there was nothing to do. So hopefully, probably if we have exercises from next week, I'll see how I can do the editing from here. But from what I can see, everything seems to work similarly. So if I wanted to, let me go to my repository. So everything seems to work similarly. So if I wanted to edit any file, I just have to click on the file, then do the editing the same way I was doing from. I'm trying to go to. I'm trying to view the other one. Oh, this is not the one I'm looking for. So everything worked similarly from same way as the GitHub. So I really did not do any editing on the file here on GitLab.
Okay.
So if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
It's
from next week, I'll probably do the editing here, then import from here back to GitHub. Just play around it and most likely update the SSH here because I can see they are telling me I need to update my SSH whatever because I did that on my GitHub as well. That's if I need to clone a file on although myself I use SSH. Some people use the HTTPS whatever.
No, it's not safe to use HTTPS. I think GitHub has even stopped that method.
Okay.
That method. All right, that's nice. Thank you so much. This is I didn't know it was this easy. I was expecting something else. But
I don't know if other methods are difficult, but me, I just knew I
no,
ran.
no, no. It's all. Please, let's never use that word difficult. Please,
Okay.
let's never use that word difficult. It's not difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you can all see my screen. I want to use one of my repos
Okay.
and show you something. Do I have any? Let's see. Let's go to my let's go to my GitHub. Okay, I will just use one of my repos and show you something. We'll use the Tencent. Okay. Okay, now this repo there is remote -v. When you run git remote -v on your system, it shows you the GitHub account that you're pointing to. Can you run that on your system? On your code. Now you need to run this inside your GitHub code. The exercise file you have been pushing up to your GitHub. In that GitHub code, there is a hidden file. You identify that there is a hidden file called .git in it. So if you all are seeing that, just let us know in the chat. Just tell us yes, you can see it. Yes, that's what I'm trying to use, Kinga Eric, the command line. Now, when you run your git remote -v, do you all see the GitHub account, your GitHub account, and the repository name? Trust me, it's so. Now you have to also remember that this is very important. The origin file name is very important when you are trying to identify, because you can give this origin anything you want to give to it. Now, the next thing you need to do is do your git remote set URL origin, which is the first origin file name, and give it your GitHub, your GitLab, git@gitlab.com/ whatever account details you have. Can you all see the command I've just written now? So what I'm saying is git remote set URL origin, then give it your GitLab account, your GitLab repository name. When you do that and you press enter, automatically it changes the URL where you're meant to push your code to. So if you do your git remote -v, it shows you the URL that you just added. So that means that once you make your git add and your git push, it pushes it directly to that URL that you just wanted to use. Is it simple? No, you need to have, you see the way mine is, it should have the repository name. So you need to copy the repository URL. That's why we're using the word set URL. Copy the repository URL from the GitLab account. So it will have an HTTPS gitlab.com/ organization name / repository name. That's how it should be. So I'm switching back to my code and mine is back, so I can make my push. If there's any push I want to make, yes. Yeah, these are changes I just made. Then git commit with any commit message you want to give to it. And so on and so forth. So I use pre-commit hooks here. In my code, I have my pre-commit hooks, which I actually use. Then git commit and git push. And I pushed it. That's all. Yes, exactly, Daffy. Exactly. Exactly, Bukola. You can always change it to any repository whenever you want to use it. Victor, yes, I'm using Fig. No, I pushed back to my repository, but once you have added the right one, you can actually push back to any of the repositories you want to push to. If you do it properly, it shouldn't show you GitHub. I don't have a GitLab account. Sorry about that, Eric. I think that's why it's an exercise. So I think you should actually fix that. Yes, it does. But I'm using ZSH, Victor. So do you guys understand how you can easily switch from one repository to another? Okay, fine. If I've not accepted that, if you sent your request between yesterday and today, I would accept it this night. I don't understand, Gideon, your question. How can you edit the code from here? Because I find myself having to push using Git outside my Linux terminal. I don't know, you might have some configuration issues, so you might need to ensure that you have the right configurations and you should be fine. Exactly, they are all Git, so they all have the same commands. They have the same process, they have the same commands. Please, if you have sent yours earlier than last week, could you resend it again? Because I've had quite a number and 7 days. So after 7 days, I get to lose it. So if you sent yours earlier than last Wednesday last week, please could you just resend it again? A couple came in today. I will accept all of them this night. I mean your GitHub requests. Okay, guys, so any other thing again you'd like us to take a look at? For next week, we're going to be talking on web servers, SFTP and FTP protocols, and we're also going to be installing a LAMP service. A LAMP service in Linux here is called Linux Apache MySQL and PHP. No, Conrad, not TBK. So I would like everyone to go online, get to understand what some of these things are. Then we're also going to be we're going to be looking at hardening of Linux kernels. These are just things we'll just talk about. I'll give you the pros and cons and all that. Then we'll talk a very little on security. But majorly, our major task for next week is going to be setting up a Linux, an Apache service with a basic website and ensuring that you can see the websites from wherever you are staying in. Please, I would really like everyone to go back and look at our videos because I'm going to be moving very, 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 very fast next week. I wouldn't take the time. I would believe by the time we're going to have the conversation next week, everyone would understand how Vagrant communicate with each other, how you can integrate multiple systems with Vagrant, how you can set up 3, 4, 5, 6 different services with servers with Vagrant and all that. Yes, I will send my presentation on Monday. I'm still here for your questions. Ah, Marianne. Marianne, where are you lost in from? Please, can you specify how you started getting lost so that we can know where we'll start, how we can start looking for you? Oh, okay. GitLab. Are you talking about adding GitLab to your services? How using GitLab and adding me? You don't understand. Okay, so the task there was moving your repositories from GitHub to GitLab, and I just showed us a very simple way of doing it by doing your Git version. Git, is it version? Please remind me again. I've forgotten. Yeah, Git remote V. So Git remote -v. This shows you your Git account. All I just needed to do is run my Git remote set URL. Origin, which I said comes from here. Then the URL, which is the Git, it should be gitlab.com/organization URL/organization/repository. So do you understand this now? You can use anything that you want to use. Yeah, Marianne, do you understand? Do you understand how you set the new URL now? Yeah, thanks to Lokwe. A couple of you guys are really impressing me. I'm really impressed. I'm pretty sure we will get to a point where some of you can actually look for some very good internship positions for some of you guys. I responded to that question already, that you're not using it. We're not using you. We created. Is there a limit to the amount? You can't. There's no limit to the amount of machines you can have. Amount of machine, you can have as many machines as your system can handle, and as your RAM can also handle. We're not using the Vagrant box. Actually spins up. Vagrant actually spins up virtual machines. So you would see that if you have a virtual machine running, a virtual box already running, and you're on a Windows system, if you go into your virtual box, let me see, I think I might have had, okay, this is a Vagrant manager. No, this is not. If you go into your virtual box, you would see that all the things we create. Yeah, it's my virtual box. If you go into, can you see all the servers that I have created? Can you all see my screen? Can you see my virtual box screen? I don't think you can. So let me share my virtual box screen for you all to see. Can you all see my virtual box, Fumilayo? You can see for every virtual machine I have, can you see my Vagrant 2 master and my Vagrant slave? No, the class is not over. I'm still here, please. Can you all see my master and my slave? So you can see that I have them running on my system already, and it's running on Vagrant. So whenever you run your Vagrant up, it spins up a new virtual machine and stores it there. Does that answer your question, Fumilayo? Please, if yes, if it does, please type capital yes. I don't even know where to start from to ask the questions I have. My laptop had issues and I just got it fixed. I hope I can still meet up because yeah, there are some people that are doing so well already. Please guys, reach out to Favor and take her through some of the things wherever she's having challenges. Vagrant in it, no, it doesn't create new one. What it does is it creates a new Vagrant file that you can use to spin up a new Vagrant, a new VM machine. The class is not over. Fumilayo, what did you just shout no? What is your no for again? Okay, yes, you're shouting yes. Okay, yes. Okay, yes. Okay, thank you very much. Reach out to me. I'll buy data for you, please. Yes, Precious, I will. You can spin up as many, like I said, you can spin up as many VMs as your system can handle. Chukwebuka. I didn't know you guys could hear my hissing. Yes, please try to ensure you submit all your exercises before the end of tomorrow. Thank you. So any more questions? Let's go to the question and answer. I added with both command git remote add and doing this allowed me retain. Does this pose any advantage? What that means is whenever you're trying to make a push, it will push to the two of them. So that's fine. Once you're trying to make a commit and a push, once you're making a PR, it will make to the both of them. Yeah, tomorrow, damn. I had 3 machines up, but 2 weren't running. And when I did the Vagrant SSH, I was getting 6 IPs. I had to delete 2 and left just 1 to get just 3. That might be as a result of your network. Probably you have 3 different networks. So that's why it was generating three IP addresses for each of them. Yeah, if please, we all need to come out and tell ourselves the truth. So, like Olumide is saying, if you know you need assistance, please, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to other members of the team that are doing well, or that have been able to submit the assignments rather. There are quite a lot of people that you can reach out to. Please, on the chat, on the group chat, come out and say where your challenges are, and let's see how we can help you, because we are moving very, very fast from Wednesday. We're going to move very, 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 very fast from Wednesday. I won't be going backwards as such. Submitting, those that have not submitted the GitHub assignment, submit it by tomorrow. Rejoice. Yeah, it has really been helpful. I've been seeing a lot of posts, a lot of people have been putting up there that is helping us, so we need to move on as quickly as we can, because at the end of the day, I need us to have enough time to really to really touch into AWS and GCP. If we spend so much time on this, it's going to affect the time we'd have to work on GCP and AWS. At least have that feel of this environment. The exercises are not even enough, please, Anthony. They're not enough. They're not enough. AWS, GCP, and Azure, hopefully. So we need to just make some touch. We need to have some this thing on it. Git remote add origin. Origin and the URL, yes. Just try to close everything up before the end of tomorrow. All right, guys. So if there are no more questions, I would leave you all with the next 20 minutes of your time. Please do some catch up. Talk to me on Slack. A couple of people have spoken to me on Slack, and we have been able to resolve some of their issues. Talk to me on Slack. My name is Chibike on Slack. I'm your humble Chibike, the only Chibike in this place, the only person with one name. I think so. Okay, fine. Favor. Monday, COB. This is my face that you all are looking out to see. Please, please, please. My face is not very, very good. No, one day you all will see my face. One day you all will see my face. Hopefully, I'm very, very certain of that. I don't have dreads. I just have a very unkempt hair. Some people saw it in the first class, obviously. Yes, I did in the first class. Not everyone was here in the first class, so I had to comb my hair to see it. Yeah, Precious, till Monday is fine. Monday is fine. I don't comb my hair, so I don't like people seeing my hair. I'm sorry about that. Maybe when I start combing my hair, I will open it up. Or when I barb my hair. There's no place to barb around here where I am. Okay, I will send you my account details. Please send me money so I can buy cap. Aren't you thinking of doing dreadlocks also, Bukola? I don't know what to call Audi shoes. Why? You need to try it. That's an identification. SARS is real. SARS don't disturb. They don't disturb IT guys now. You know what to do. Instagram. Instagram, just Instagram them as their video and shout, I'm videoing it, whether you're doing it or not. I don't know about a cat, and I don't have a dreads, so I just have an unkept hair. I have an okay. The truth is, I have an issue with my barber. The last time I went to him, he overcharged me, so I promised I won't barb my hair again because of that. So if anyone can recommend a very good barber, yeah, if you can recommend one, no, I can't use scissors. If you can recommend a good barber that is somewhere around Ajebule, Orile Gomu side. Orile Gomu. Yeah, I love the. I've said till Monday. You can Ajegunle, yes. No, that Razor can do this. 6 exercises, and there will be another exercise again that we're going to do next week. Then there will be a project. So I'm most likely expecting that by the end of next week, I'll be giving you all a project. And I'm thinking of the best way to do it. I'm thinking we should, what do you guys think? I'm thinking we should have like a group. Oluta is another Nigeria. Okay, no groups. That means everyone will have to set. I'm thinking if we actually use a group, use groups to do this project, it might actually favor us more. Where we link up with a lot of people and we run the project together as a group. Grace, why? I mean, I did Nigeria with you now. Which waiting they happen now? No, my kid does not speak. Yes, I'm training him not to speak Ajegunle. Audi, haven't you seen Audi in Lagos? There's Audi in Lagos now. Please, I'm thinking you all should think about it. Let's have that conversation next week if we should have a group. I'm thinking of a group of probably 10 people. If we can have a group of 10 people and see if we can work on that project together. Else, if we can't do that, then it would mean that we'd all have to do it. If we would all have to do it I think we should have a group. So next week, Wednesday, everyone should try to be here. And we'll see how we can do some attendance and make that group and select maybe probably a group of 10 or 15 people. We'll think of how we can set up a group of 10 is much. Okay, maybe 5. Yeah. I want us to what I want to do is to see everything that we've been able to do right now and set up a project that will last for like a week, allow everyone to continue working on it and see how everybody comes out with it. But if you all are not if you all are not ready for that, we could 5 might be fine. All right, that's fine. I deal with you now. Yeah. So let's see if we're going to use a group. I'll discuss with the team and I'll get back to you all on that. No, you can't select yourselves. We're going to select you guys. How are you responding so fast while still in class? You guys already have circles. Interesting. We'll see about that. We'll have group and we'll see. So the further communication will be sent to you all on the group chat. I think there has to be a form that everyone should fill. There's a form that is circulating, everyone should fill. And let's see. I want to share you all that form. I think everyone should fill their information on this form. I hope you can all reach out, get this form. So everyone should fill their information on this. Form closed. Okay, I'll set up another form again. You get on that form again by Monday. Sorry. You get another form again by Monday. So everyone should fill up their information and their repository so that we can set up a group from that. You get another form again by Wednesday. Wednesday, another form again by Wednesday. Okay. It seems someone still has a question to ask me. Yeah, loved it, no problem. My system almost crashed when I created multiple. I had to destroy some. Okay, so Bukola, my system is a 32 gig RAM. So I use a 32 gig RAM Core i9 system. So that's why I can run multiple VMs confidently without having too many issues. It's work system. Oh. No, it's 8 gig RAM can equally do the job. Vagrant is not resource intensive, so 8 gig RAM can equally do the job. When you are done with this, don't worry. With time, it's I'm being honest with you. 8 gig RAM is very 8 gig RAM is very good. It can handle the work. Trust me, it can. It can handle the work. Who sponsor? Nobody's sponsoring anything. I'm there with you guys. I'm with you guys. I'm there. I'm here. I'm here in Nigeria with you. I'm in Ajegunle. No jokes. All right, guys. It's been a pleasure spending time with you all. So I can't wait until Wednesday. Please buckle up your shirts. Try to be here as early as possible. Maximum 5 minutes late. We can't do more than 5 minutes late. We can't do more than 5 minutes late, please. And let's see how it goes. I wish you all the best and have a very wonderful weekend. Yeah, bye. Good night. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any challenges. I will be always available to attend to whatever challenges you have. Just reach out to me on Slack. Yes, please, on Slack. All right, thanks. Have a good evening, guys. Bye.